Good morning and welcome to this virtual event that will focus on the special programs and schools Dallas ISD offers students at the secondary level. We're so glad you were able to join us this morning because you'll get to hear more about the new application for all of these great programs and about the programs themselves. We have some incredible opportunities for students at the secondary level. And for now, we have a short message from Deputy Chief of Transformation and Innovation, Angie Gaylord.
Good morning, Dallas. Welcome to Discover Dallas ISD. Today officially launches our application portal for the 21-22 school year. So you're going to get to spend some time today and the next couple of weeks. These will go through November, December, and January. When our application closes January 31st, to see and to hear and to discover all of the programs in Dallas ISD, whether it be neighborhood schools, magnet schools, transformation schools, early college, high schools. We've got so many opportunities for every student in the city of Dallas to find their best fit school.
Great. So before I introduce Executive Director Keisha Crowder-Davis to tell you more about the application, I want to remind you that if you already know the program that you want to apply for, you can go to www.dallasisd.org/choose Dallas ISD and start applying. We do have folks on the phone ready to help you. If you have any questions or you run into any issues, just call 972-925-5560. They will be there until 2 p.m. today and will be there during the week between 7:30 and 5 p.m. to answer your questions. Now let's welcome Keisha Crowder-Davis.
Good morning, Dallas ISD families. Thank you for attending the Discover event. At the end of the event, we hope that you choose Dallas ISD. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our new application process. I'm going to start with our website. If you visit the website that Mary Carmen spoke of, www.dallasisd/choose Dallas ISD, you'll be able to see our landing page. On the landing page, you will find our school finder options down on the bottom left. Then you'll find our new application that launched last Saturday. You'll also be able to see all of the various options that we have available for families in Dallas ISD, from P-Tech to Magnet to single gender to transformation schools, visual and performing arts, STEM, early learning. We have so many available options for you. We hope you choose Dallas ISD. Next slide, please. As I said, Dallas ISD has so many great offerings. The first choice for families is always your neighborhood school. We have so many great programs in our neighborhood schools that we wanted to highlight them in our application. The second choice for families are our various choice offerings. Those that you're familiar with, our P-Tech programs, our magnet programs, our dual language, our transformation schools, our IB schools. All of them are available for you to choose this year. Next slide, please. We had to go through a change management process in order to get to this new application. Historically, families were able to apply in one portal for OTI schools up to 5 and receive 1 letter of assignment. The next one, you were able to apply to 2 magnet schools and receive an acceptance letter. Then you were able to go to another portal and apply for our collegiate academies up to 3 and receive an offer letter. Then you were able to go through our our student transfer portal and apply to up to 2 schools, and then go to the IB schools, the dual language schools, and do another application process. But what we've done is we've combined all of those processes into one centralized application where families are able to rank their top 5 choices and receive 1 offer letter, no matter what the program is. Next slide. Why did we change? What was the rationale? Families, we wanted to assist you with a one-stop shop. We wanted you to be able to go into 5 schools would be able to search, apply, and enroll through this one online portal. You have the ability to rank your 5 choices, as I said, no matter what the program is. We wanted you to have a unified process and timeline. We wanted to open the application at a certain time, notify you at a certain time. Everybody that goes through this portal will receive notification of your assignment at the same time on March 1st. Next slide, please. If you visit the Choose Dallas ISD website, the first thing you can do, you can search our school finder. This is our shopping mall. This is our Walmart. This is our Target. This is our Nordstrom's of schools. The very first school that will come up is your neighborhood school. So you're able to search by your home address, by grade level. You're able to search by program to find out what we have to offer for you. Next slide, please. All right, let's talk about the application. I said on several instances that you're able to make a choice. You're able to choose 5 choices. I'm going to walk through a scenario here for you, and I'm going to use a 9th grade student. Family goes to the portal. Their first choice may be Booker T. Washington Magnet. Their second choice could be City Lab High School, which is a transformation school. Their third choice is the Great James Madison P-TECH Collegiate Academy, which is a P-TECH program. The fourth choice could be an IB program at Hillcrest, which is their neighborhood school. The fifth choice here is Gilliam Early College High School. What will happen? It's very important, families, for you to prioritize and rank your schools based on your most desired school. We will then, after you go through the assessment processes for the various schools, be it the audition, the interviews, the math assessment, we will then put all of the students into an optimizer to optimize your very first choice. So what's going to happen after you get through all of those, you will receive 1 acceptance letter. Next slide. As I said earlier, we have so many options for you to choose from. We have our P-TECH programs. If you visit the website, the Choose Dallas ISD website, you're able to hover over the various programs and find out all kinds of information. You're able to view a video that talks about the program. You're able to see the seat availability for the programs, and you're able to see some information regarding the programs. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. We hope you choose Dallas ISD today.
Great. Thank you so much, Keisha, for that information. I wanted to let you know that there is more information about all these programs, like Keisha said, in the www.dallasisd.org /Choose Dallas ISD page. So any questions that you have about specific programs, please go there. Again, to repeat our help number, it's 972-925-5560. You can get questions answered there or help with your application. So if you run into any issues, we're there to help. You can also send an email to choosedallasisd@dallasisd.org if you have a more involved question that you'd like to get a written answer for. Before we start with the programs, I do want to remind you about the great opportunity that we have today as part of what we're doing to highlight our secondary programs. We have a document that has links to virtual open houses for all our secondary special schools and programs. And this was a really great opportunity for you to visit one or several schools that you're interested in and hear from the principal or from the staff who'll be participating any details about those programs. And it really is a great opportunity. We usually do these open houses in person, but of course, given the circumstances we're living in today, we are not able to do that. So we have done this as a next best option for you to really get to know them. The link to that document is found at www.dallasisd.org/choose-dallasisd. It'll be in the square where you found the registration for this event, and you can download that and then just spend between 11:30 and 2 o'clock visiting all these schools. And I wanted to remind you that we are answering questions live here at the end of the presentation. And you can put in your questions in the Q&A box that's found in the lower part of your screen. We'll be answering them at the end after we do all the presentations. And now I'm gonna do a video about our wonderful P-TECH program, and then we'll hear from the P-TECH folks about some of the details on the program.
What I love about Dallas is I can learn and grow so much in this city.
I'm Vanessa. I live with my two parents, my sister and my brother. Since I was little, I've always been interested in how technology works. I just saw P-TECH as an opportunity to learn something new.
Raising Vanessa, I think we've been very blessed with her.
And watching her with her brother and sister, it brings joy to my heart.
To be a big sister is knowing to set a good example for my siblings to follow in. I had started playing basketball my freshman year of high school.
It was her first year playing. She was excited. That night when she got injured, she definitely was bummed out.
Mentally, it kind of threw me off. Basketball was my way of helping with that mental health. I had to overcome that challenge, and I picked up a new sport.
She still continued, practicing the skills that she could.
Just watching her persevere, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's what you want for your child.
If I had to compare golf to a subject in school, it would definitely be physics. Golf at first was extremely challenging than physics. Once I started getting the hang of all the calculations, I started passing with A's. There is a lot of pressure from my mom. That's one of the reasons why I strive for those A's.
But the thing is, it's a good pressure.
Yes, setting high expectations is a great thing, but we know that they can handle it only because they know they have support. I've watched Vanessa blossom through P-TECH. I have seen leadership come out of her.
You want nothing but the best from her, the best education. She pretty much did it on her own, and that's when I knew, we had something special.
I saw P-TECH as an opportunity for me to better my future, to be a Hispanic woman in tech. I can't say that I see a lot of people like myself. I know that by doing this, I'll show others that you can follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I'm Vanessa, and I am P-TECH.
Okay, so now we'll hear from our P-TECH folks about the program.
Good morning. I'm Cheryl Nevels, the proud Executive Director for Dallas ISD's P-TECH and Early College Programs. And I'm excited to share why Vanessa and multiple other students are proud to be a part of the P-TECH and Early College Program. The first question that people always want to know is, what is a P-TECH? But I can't share what a P-TECH is without also sharing what an early college is. The Dallas ISD P-TECH, which stands for Pathway in Technology Early College High School, and ECHS, which stands for Early College High School, are both programs that provide students with the opportunity to earn dual credit, which is credit that counts towards high school and college degree. Students in Dallas ISD P-TECH programs can earn up to 60 college credit hours for free or an associate's degree by the time they graduate from high school. The P-TECH programs are also partnered with Dallas College and UNT Dallas, and they provide specific pathways to an associate's degree that's aligned to workforce needs. They also have the opportunity to partner with industry. Students enrolled in early college high schools can also earn 60 college credit hours for free. They too have higher ed partners with Dallas College and UNT Dallas, and they can earn an associate's degree within the general associate degree pathways that are offered at those schools. The distinct difference between the two is that with P-TECH, there's an additional opportunity with internship, and the pathways are aligned to workforce needs. However, at early college high schools, they have opportunities to earn general associate's degrees through those pathways. So what are the general goals for students when they're in the P-TECH program? First, we want to ensure that they receive the high school diploma. They have opportunities for additional graduation endorsements. Of course, the opportunity to earn up to 60 college credit hours and or an associate's degree. They have an opportunity for career and tech certifications. There are opportunities for four-year university scholarships, career opportunities, mentoring, worksite visits, internships, and many of our students are first in line for job interviews and jobs. Currently, we have over 8,500 students across Dallas ISD that are enrolled in our P-TECH and early college programs. If you're asking how this is possible, it's possible because we have program offerings in all sectors of the city. To date, we have 28 total programs, which is inclusive of 18 P-TECH schools, 5 early colleges, and 5 collegiate academies, which means that we have true choice. It's important to note that transportation to any of the programs of choice is also offered. We offer free college textbooks, and of course, once again, those college hours are free of charge as well. At this time, I will turn it over to Elizabeth Hart, Academic Coordinator for P-TECH and Early College Programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nevels. As Ms. Nevels said, my name is Elizabeth Hart. I am the Academic Coordinator for P-TECH and Early College Programs. I'm excited to be with you today because I get to spend my days with the 28 wonderful P-TECH and early college high schools that we have within Dallas ISD. I'm going to share a little bit about what we're able to do on these campuses. So as you saw on the map, our map shows all of the P-TECH and early college high schools all around Dallas. They're in the Dallas ISD schools. These campuses blend 60 hours of college credit or an associate's degree along with career experiences for our students. Our students get hands-on learning through mentoring, internships, and again, hands-on learning. The P-TECH and early college pathways focus on the high demand careers that are necessary within the Dallas-Fort Worth area. On your screen, you should be able to see all of the different P-TECH pathways, or I should say some of the P-TECH pathways that we have at our 28 campuses. So we have early college education, engineering, game design, hospitality management, just to name a few. It's important to understand that these pathways are at multiple schools throughout the Dallas ISD. So as you go onto our website, you'll be able to see exactly which school offers which pathway. Next slide, please. The success of our P-TECH and early college programs is really based on a powerful relationship we have with all of our industry partners. Right now, our 28 campuses partner with 82 industry partners. All of these P-TECH and early college students actually get experience with the industry partner. The industry partner plays an important role in providing opportunities for our students. As you can see, some of the partnerships that we have are with companies that are very well known, such as IBM, Cummins Electric. We also have students who get experience with PepsiCo, as well as American Airlines and Southwest Airlines. For a complete list of all the different industry partners that we have available, I encourage you to look at our website, P-TECH and Early College Programs. Next slide, please. As Ms. Neville stated, all of our campuses have the opportunity to receive 60 hours of college credit or an associate's degree. And you measure success by how successful our students have been in the past. So when we examine our students of last year, graduating class of 2020, we can see that 72% of our campuses actually were able to receive an associate's degree in addition to their high school diploma. That's 628 students within the Dallas ISD received their associate's degree as well as their high school diploma through our PTAC and early college programs. In addition, a little bit more than 73% of our students, or 684 students, actually earned 60 college credits or more through our PTAC and early college programs. These programs give your student an opportunity to get a good foundation for college as well as getting industry certificates. Partnering with our industry partners allows us to expand our students' understanding of the world around them and what's necessary to thrive in the workforce later on. I encourage everyone to actually take a look at our website under PTAC and early college programs within the Dallas ISD organization. Thank you.
Thank you to our PTEC programs. I know I apologize for the sound there a little bit, was a little bit choppy, but you know what? It's one of those things when you're doing these virtual things, no matter how much you prepare, some things happen. But if you have any questions about PTEC, both Cheryl and Elizabeth are here to answer them. So feel free to ask them in the Q&A. Now we're gonna move on to our next program, and we're gonna start it off with a video.
Calling all motivated, creative, and energetic students. Are you ready to be a part of an exciting new program in Dallas ISD? Introducing Career Institutes. Learn how to work in construction, aviation, plumbing, solar technology, interior design, HVAC, and mechatronics. The workforce industry needs you, and these are the jobs of the future. So, if you're ready to earn career certifications and get to work right after high school, Career Institutes is for you. The only question left is, what will your pathway be?
And now for our Career Institutes presentation.
Good morning, everyone. We want to invite you to learn more about Career Institutes. Career Institutes is a new initiative with Dallas ISD. We began last year, and we started out with ninth graders last year. We've expanded to 3 facilities now. We have a north, a south, and an east location. We offer industry recognized certifications in our pathways. As you see on the screen, aviation, cybersecurity, we have construction, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, mechatronics, health science, and information technology, which includes cybersecurity and also software development. So through these, we offer 4 industry-based certifications at various institutes. One of them is Career Institute East, which you can see on the screen here. They serve a variety of high schools: Bryan Adams, Spruce, Lincoln High School, Madison, and Woodrow Wilson High School. Other pathways that they offer at that particular campus include cybersecurity, pharmacy tech, patient care tech, HVAC, plumbing, interior design, electrical, and construction and carpentry. Next slide. So at Career Institute North, we serve Hillcrest, W.T. White, Conrad, Thomas Jefferson, and North Dallas High Schools, offering cybersecurity, mechatronics, aviation, HVAC, plumbing, architecture, electrical, solar, and construction. Next slide. The Charmaine and Robert Price Career Institute, or Career Institute South, also serves 8 different high schools: David Carter, Roosevelt, Kimball, Molina, South Oak Cliff, LG Pinkston, Sunset, and Adamson, offering cybersecurity, mechatronics, aviation, HVAC, plumbing, interior design, electrical, construction, pharmacy tech, patient care tech, EMT, and phlebotomy. So we hope that you will learn more about Career Institutes. Let's look at the next slide. These are our 3 facilities right now that we have open. We will be opening one in the West eventually. Right now we serve almost all of the comprehensive high schools. And at the comprehensive high schools, a student who comes to a Career Institute would simply select those courses in their pathway choices. There's not really an application to fill out. All you have to do is let your counselor know that you're interested in one of the pathways that Career Institute offers. Those students then sign up on their choice sheet in January or February, and then they would come to our campus by bus for 2 class periods every other day in a traditional schedule, AB schedule. They spend 2 class periods with us. One of those would probably be their pathway class at the beginning in their 9th or 10th grade. And then they have an elective that they can also select on our campus. They can have lunch with us and then return to their home campus for their other core classes and then all their extracurricular activities. So they have a choice of coming in the morning or afternoons on both A days and B days, depending on what works best for their schedules. So we have a lot of options, and what we really are is an extension of the home comprehensive high schools, where we can offer all those students at the comprehensive high school another set of pathways that aren't available on their home campus. So it really makes the possibilities very extensive for those high school campuses. So we invite you to look at Career Institutes, and we will be having sessions afterwards, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Renowned actors, singers, and many other artists have started their careers in a Dallas ISD Visual and Performing Arts School. Dallas ISD's Visual and Performing Arts schools combine a love for the fine arts with a first-class academic environment. Dallas ISD's fine arts programs are nationally recognized in dance, art, photography, theater, and music. This option is an excellent outlet for self-expression and provides a pathway to prestigious colleges and careers for students. Choose a Dallas ISD Visual and Performing Arts School and begin your child's artistic future. Apply at dallasisd.org/ChooseDallasISD.
And now let's hear from our magnet programs.
Good morning, everyone. I am Nancy Rubio, the Magnet Coordinator in the Centralized Enrollment and Magnet Department. I am excited to be here and share with you information about Dallas ISD Magnet programs. Magnet schools offer grades pre-K through 12th grade. Academic requirements to apply. There is academic requirements to apply, excuse me. This is the main difference between magnets and other choice programs. We will go over those requirements in the upcoming slides. Secondly, admission is based on specific criteria. I'm sorry, I think we were on the wrong slide. Admission is based on specific criteria, meaning each magnet school administers an assessment which is specific to the model and offering. These offerings are designed around and anchored models such as TAG, Visual and Performing Arts, Montessori, STEM, Career Exploration, and much, much more. Magnet schools also offer transportation within district boundaries. The transportation option can be selected within the application. Next slide, please. Magnet selection process. The magnet selection process is part of Dallas ISD Board Policy EHBJ Local. According to our selection process, 30% of the seats are awarded district-wide by rank ordering applicants based on overall criteria score without consideration of feeder pattern or sibling status, meaning 30% of the seats are awarded to in-district applicants in rank order who score highest to lowest on the magnet school assessment. The remaining 70% of the seats are awarded by feeder pattern. The remainder of the seats are awarded by high school feeder pattern. All applicants are assigned a school feeder pattern based on their home address. Magnet schools also have a sibling rule and a sibling preference. The sibling rule applies to our 2 Montessori schools. This rule allows siblings who have current siblings attending the same school to receive priority. The siblings must also pass the school assessment to receive this priority. Sibling preference. Sibling preference is applied to elementary and middle school programs. These schools apply an extra 5 points to the applicant's assessment who have a current sibling attending the same school. Applying siblings must also pass the school assessment to receive the additional 5 points. Magnet schools also prioritize in-district students. Students who live within Dallas ISD boundaries get priority over students living outside the Dallas boundaries. Next slide, please. Magnet eligibility. There are 2 different eligibility criteria, and that depends on the school you apply to. Most of our programs require a cumulative grade point average of 75% on the most recent report card. 80% GPA is required at William B. Travis, Sudie Williams, TAG, Mark Twain, Trinity Heights, School for the Talented and Gifted at Pleasant Grove, Spence, School for the Talented and Gifted at Townview, and Townview Science and Engineering. The second part of the eligibility is the standardized test scores. Because the district did not administer STAR in the spring, we are taking the 40th percentile on the fall ACP for Dallas ISD students in reading and math, or the 40th percentile beginning of the year MAP in reading and math. For the mentioned TAG schools and the School for Science and Engineering, we are taking the 70th percent. Students who do not have test scores and are enrolled in a Dallas ISD school can visit their school counselor or test coordinator to be given the MAP test. Students who are not enrolled in a Dallas ISD school and who do not have test scores, the district will administer the MAP test on February 6th. Next slide, please. Magnet middle school programs. Our magnet middle school programs begin at grades 6 through 8, with the exception of Barack Obama and Irma Rangel, who have grades 6 through 12. And these are some of our programs. Can I get the next slide, please? Magnet high schools. Our magnet high schools include School for the Talented and Gifted, Science and Engineering, Irma Rangel and Barack Obama, who offer grades 6 through 12, and our Booker T. Washington Performing Arts. More information can be found on our Dallas ISD website, dallasisd.org/magnets. You can also find tips for applying. You can find seats that are available for our schools, and you can find assessment criteria. Thank you. That ends my part.
Imagine a school designed with your child in mind. That is exactly what Dallas ISD's Transformation Schools do. These new transformation campuses are designed around innovative instructional models such as exploratory arts, leadership, Montessori, STEM and STEAM, personalized learning, technology and project-based learning, and urban planning, architecture, and environmental science. Transformation Schools aim to provide a best-fit educational experience for every student. These schools are open enrollment, which means they're open to all students, no matter where they live. Plus, there are no academic entry requirements. Students are selected for enrollment through a randomized lottery, and transportation is provided within district boundaries. If you are a parent who dreams of finding a school tailored to your child's unique abilities, choose a Dallas ISD Transformation School. Apply at dallasisd.org/choose Dallas ISD.
Now let's hear about our transformation schools.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Choose Dallas ISD. My name is Elena Bates, and I'm the project manager in the Office of Transformation and Innovation. Our team's goal is to provide best fit schools for all Dallas ISD families. We are very excited to share the many programs available at our transformation and neighborhood schools. Let's begin with our transformation schools. Transformation schools are open enrollment campuses designed around an innovative instructional model. Our instructional models include exploratory arts, leadership, Montessori, STEM and STEAM, personalized learning, and project-based learning. There are no academic entry requirements, and transportation is offered to students living within district boundaries. Online applications to transformation schools are accepted annually from November through January. Students are selected through a lottery. Offers are generated based on the number of seats available in each grade level, the student's priority group, and the randomly assigned lottery number. Research shows that socioeconomically diverse schools offer better learning environments for all students, no matter their background. Many of our transformation schools are designated 50-50 socioeconomic diversity schools. At these schools, students are entered into a lottery group based on their economic status. Let's take a look at your transformation school choices. For students interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, Halsey STEAM and West Dallas STEM School program at Pinkston High School are excellent middle school options. At STEAM and STEM campuses, students engage in hands-on activities such as robotics, experiments, computer coding, and the deep problem solving that prepares them for high-demand careers. We have personalized learning pathway that allows students to continue their personalized learning journey in secondary by attending Ignite Middle School and Idea High School. Personalized learning is a one-size-fits-one approach to instruction that puts students in the driver's seat of their own learning. Montessori schools include multi-age grouping, uninterrupted work cycle, guided choice of work, prepared environments, hands-on materials, and social emotional learning. Next year, families are invited to explore Mata Montessori Middle School. The Dr. Martin Luther King Junior Arts Academy provides students opportunities to explore dance, visual arts, piano, and orchestra. Our City Lab High School students use the City of Dallas as an extension of the classroom, gaining real-world experience while participating in community problem solving involving urban planning and architecture. At New Tech High School, students engage in project-based learning, problem solving, collaboration, and various forms of communication, empowering innovators and entrepreneurs. Please be sure to visit campus informational sessions today to learn about these unique offerings. We also have innovative choices at our Dallas ISD neighborhood campuses. Innovation schools are neighborhood schools that offer a redesigned curriculum while maintaining their current identity. If you live in the neighborhood, you simply attend the neighborhood school. Students who live outside the school's attendance zone can attend if space is available. Let's review some of the innovative offerings at our neighborhood schools. Several of our innovation schools offer personalized learning at the elementary level. They are encouraged to continue in middle school at Marsh Preparatory Academy. In personalized environments, students are supported in becoming self-directed learners by using their voice to choose what, how, when, and where they learn to solve problems that are relevant in their own lives and communities and where they live. STEM and STEAM are the perfect educational path for students who enjoy finding solutions to real-world problems and challenges. They bring together the critical components of how and what and laces them together with why. Check out Quintanilla for STEM and STEAM options. Students also have the opportunity to attend innovation schools that include leadership and design thinking, and review of those schools are on your screen. We are proud to provide international baccalaureate choices at various secondary schools. The Dallas ISD IB schools are on a mission to grow global change makers. Our IB programs offer challenging academic environments that develop inquiring, knowledgeable and caring young people who take an active role in creating a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding, ownership, and respect. IB high school students also earn college credit. Please check out these schools and their IB options today. We offer 2 single-gender campuses in the heart of Southeast Dallas. Young Women's STEAM Academy at Balk Springs targets STEAM education because we know that women are underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and math fields. Research shows that girls' school graduates have higher confidence in STEM. Young Men's Leadership Academy places an emphasis on leadership skills for the next generation of male leaders. At YMLA, boys' unique interests are nurtured and they are pushed to be out-of-the-box thinkers and learners. Teachers use hands-on strategies and are intentional about tapping into the male brain to ensure success, nothing less. Our transformation innovation schools have been designed with your child in mind. We look forward to receiving your application to the best fit schools of your choice. Thank you.
My husband and I, when our son was about to enter into kindergarten, we were excited that there was a dual language program offered.
As a parent, I'm very involved me and my wife are very involved in our kids becoming successful education-wise.
We thought it was really important for our kids to be able to have an opportunity to be exposed to another language and to learn about other cultures and through learning a different language.
It gives them an opportunity to be more sociable and have other network opportunities and be able to communicate on other levels besides the environment level that they're at.
Just as we see our city and our culture so influenced by Spanish culture, we've loved our kids having a broader understanding of the language and being able to learn a language alongside their native English language.
But I would recommend it for anybody to do it. I mean, we're trying to have a better society, and it starts with our younger children. So I think in order for her to be a great leader, she has to pick up something extra like this, and I think this will benefit her.
Great, and now we will explore our secondary dual language program.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Belinda Moran, and I'm here with dual language programming, specifically with secondary dual language today. Our program offers students an opportunity to excel academically while fostering linguistic and cultural diversity through the learning of 2 languages, where students are bringing their home language to the school environment and enriching the linguistic experience of all students. In regards to our secondary dual language programming, we have 8 middle schools that we'll have in the program next year. Those 8 middle schools are Hotchkiss, J.L. Long, Piedmont Global, Rosemont Upper, Sanger Preparatory, School for the Talented and Gifted in Pleasant Grove, Edie Walker, and Walnut Hill. Each of these schools offers our students a unique opportunity to take 2 classes in Spanish along with the other coursework. Some of the courses that we offer at the middle school level is, and it's interesting because we offer both on-level courses and pre-AP courses. So some of the courses that we have are Math 6th, 7th, and 8th. They can be on level or pre-AP dual language. We have Reading Language Arts offered at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as pre-AP dual language courses. Texas Studies dual language, Astronomy dual language, Introduction to Robotics dual language, Spanish 6, 7, and 8 dual language. And what's unique about some of these courses is, depending on what course it is, for example, Spanish 6, 7, and 8, our students in middle school can earn high school credit. So once they get into 9th grade, they're already going into high school with some high school credit. Our program in high school is offered at North Dallas High School, W.T. White High School, Samuel High School, Woodrow Wilson High School, Sunset High School, and we also have a pathway at the Career Institute North, which is exciting. The coursework at the high school level is similar to the similar setup as middle school. So in middle school, as they're taking 2 languages every year, in high school, our students are taking two courses every year in Spanish. So they can take geometry pre-AP, they can take AP US Government. We have an AP World History class. We have on-level biology dual language. This year, we're excited to offer ethnic studies, Mexican American dual language. And again, we have those advanced level LOT classes for Spanish 4, 5, and 6. And that's makes us unique. We have a lot of upper level and as well as the on-level courses for dual language in Spanish. Our students who are in the high school program are working towards a performance acknowledgement on their high school transcript. When they earn this, their high school transcript actually states performance acknowledgement in bilingualism and biliteracy. This is the state seal of biliteracy that acknowledges the proficiency of the student in 2 or more languages. It recognizes their academic success, and it also shows tangible benefits of being bilingual. This is a nationally recognized accolade. So this is could be seen when the students are applying at different universities, out of state. It's something that nationwide is a very big achievement. And here today, we have some of our campus stakeholders that are going to say a few words about their program. We have Yenny Fuentes, a teacher at Woodrow Wilson High School, Alessandra Mercon, assistant principal at Woodrow Wilson High School. And we also have 2 teachers from JL Long, Susan Moreno and Daniel Rios. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Mercon.
Thank you, Ms. Moran. Yes, so I'm the assistant principal at Woodrow Wilson High School, and a couple things I'd like to highlight is at Woodrow Wilson, the way we've set it up, they are pre-AP and AP courses in math, science, and of course the Spanish language. And it is possible for students to also be involved in some of our outstanding programs such as business or engineering or fine arts. So really this is a great supplement for any student considering the program.
Ms. Fuentes, thank you, Ms. Mercon.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ms. Fuentes, and I am one of the dual language teachers at Woodrow. One of the things that we take pride on is our parent involvement. So we try to keep our parents involved and engaged by having monthly meetings. In our meetings, we try to keep them informed of what we have going on, any tests coming up, ways to support our students as well, and even some potlucks as well. So we try to keep it as a close community. We also have our team meetings for our teachers. So we work very closely, and we have bi-weekly meetings where we try to come up with ideas to better our program, try to keep track of our students, making sure that our students are where they need to be and they are taking the correct classes. So we are very proud of our program at Woodrow.
Thank you, Ms. Fuentes. Mr. Rios, would you like to speak?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. First off, good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Rios. I teach 8th grade math dual language at JL Long Middle School. We also have Algebra 1 dual language, and I think that's one of the biggest, greatest things about the ISD is that, like Ms. Moran was mentioning, there's so many different middle schools and high schools that have dual language, and they all look a little bit different. So like at our feeder pattern, we're actually, I believe this is still correct, we're the only feeder pattern that does math in Spanish, because at the elementary level, dual language math is taught in English. They do still see it in Spanish as well, but our language of instruction, we teach in Spanish. So it's really cool seeing how that'll flip at the secondary level, and then just how across the board, across the district, dual language looks different at each feeder pattern. And I don't really see that happening in other districts. The variety in it is really great. And I know that in our feeder pattern, like at the high school level for Woodrow, they're expanding into science classes as well as a goal. And I know that for the middle school, that's also a goal for us. So we can really see dual language happen in a variety of contexts. And then I also want to read a quote that we have from a student. We asked them what they believe that the dual language program did for them. And they told us that I believe the dual language program benefits an individual in many ways while introducing the student to diversity, culture, and so much more for him/her to grow and connect more to the outside world. And that part at the end where it says to the outside world, I think part of the reason that he really said that too is because at our campus, we are an IB campus for J. Long Middle School. So it's just something else that the students get to experience and enhance their learning. And it's, like I said, dual language can look so different across the district, and it's really cool seeing how all the middle schools and high schools implement dual language and work with dual language in a variety of ways. And that's for me.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Ms. Moreno?
Hi, good morning, parents and friends. Muy buenos dias. One of the biggest questions I wanted to add, I'm also from J. Long Middle School. I am the world language department head and also one of our dual language teachers there. One of the biggest questions that we have from parents is, how do I know my student knows enough Spanish if they're coming from a dual language program in the elementary level? I would like to tell you that as long as your student has a basic level of proficiency in Spanish where they can understand what the teacher is saying, they're going to do great. We do also kind of assess them at the beginning of the school year just to kind of see where they're at so that we know when they're coming in what their level of proficiency is using the ACTFL proficiency standards guidelines to guide us to know that how we want the student to grow. And we do look at each student individually and see and assess them where they are at and where we want to project them by the end of their 3 years at J. Long. Another thing is I have parents who tell me, what if my student already knows Spanish? And that's great. If they already know Spanish, they are awesome and they are more than welcome into the program. What our program is the classes are not just learning the basics of Spanish, but we also are a reflection of an English language course, a language arts course, excuse me. We analyze literature and we work on improving written and spoken grammar and spelling to improve academic Spanish. So this will also in turn make your student truly bilingual and biliterate at the end of J. Long Middle School, and then they can move forward. And for us, our feeder pattern feeds into Woodrow Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's it for dual language. Thank you.
My family chooses Dallas ISD because I am a Dallas ISD graduate. Having my girls here, they've done very well these last 2 years. So Dallas ISD will forever be ingrained in our family.
My family chooses Dallas ISD because I went to Dallas ISD. We're one of the lucky ones that have really great schools where we are. There's no reason to pay for it if you can get a great education for free.
Yo elegí a Dallas ISD porque pues para nosotros es buen sistema y nos gusta todo lo que ofrecen.
Because we're both products of public school system and believe in what it can do.
And with so many, or with such a variety of programs, there's no doubt that we'll find the right fit for our children.
Hay como más oportunidades para que ellos se puedan desarrollar en un futuro.
I choose Dallas ISD because of the school choice. There's so many options, there's so many different programs, and I think that Dallas caters to all students.
Great, thank you so much. That is all really great information that we have, that we got from the presenters about our secondary programs. I wanted to share with you all that because we've been getting some questions about the Zoom links. There is a link for Woodrow Wilson there. We were updating that document really even throughout the night last night. I mean, not all night, but late. So if you if you downloaded it earlier in the week, I recommend that you go back and download it again so that you can get the latest version. Some of the elementary programs will be having their open houses next weekend, next Saturday, and we'll have a presentation about all the elementary programs. JL Long, for example, will have its open house because it's considered a neighborhood school, even though it has a special program, and we will be covering all those special programs for the neighborhood schools on December 12th, Saturday, December 12th, and that's when those schools will have their open houses. So you'll be able to download that PDF with the links for that weekend. So we do have a lot of questions. I just want to remind you that if you're ready, if you got all the information that you possibly could want and need from the presentations, you can go to www.dallasisd.org/choose-dallasisd and start your application. Applications are on until they're submitted on January 31st. You can go back and make changes. So if you're not 100% sure, you can get it started and then, you know, explore some more options or go visit the schools and then come back and finish your application. So now some of the questions that we have, and we'll have our very informative group of presenters who will be able to answer them. So I'm asking them really in no specific order, but I do want to know, and Keisha, maybe you can answer this question. What, how do we know if we're applying, what seats are available to see, you know, kind of what our chances are, or maybe getting into a certain program?
Awesome, that's very important. Thank you for that question. If you go to the Choose Dallas ISD website, www.dallasisd/choose-dallasisd, if you hover over the various programs, or if you click on the program, there's information that will populate. So if you click on the PTech icon, you'll be able to see the seats available. If you click on the magnet program, you're able to see the seats available. So go to your program that you're interested in, and then you'll be able to see that information.
Great, thank you. And I would like to correct myself because apparently in my head, it's already like well into Thanksgiving, but our elementary program is not next weekend. It's on December 5th. So I do apologize about that. So Saturday, December 5th is when we'll have the open houses for all the elementary programs, and as well as an informative webinar like this one with the elementary school experts. I do apologize for that. It's just, this year has been, for a time, it's just been crazy. But so December 5th, elementary programs. December 12th is when we're gonna have the neighborhood school programs. So this is a question, and I guess somebody maybe from the magnet schools, but there's a lot of questions about the GPA, and because last year there were some issues, with the pandemic, we didn't do the testing that we would normally do at the end of the year and use for admission or application to these programs. So if somebody can jump in and answer, are there other, can you use CAP scores in reading and a MAP score in math? Are there any scores that are going to be included in the evaluation process, or just the eligibility? And if tests were not available, like what are some of the options? I know you covered it a little bit during the presentation.
Okay. I will answer. All right. Due to the pandemic, our GPAs we extended, I'll say, our school year, or our first 6 weeks now is a nine week. So students applying to a magnet school, you have the ability to use your spring 2020 scores for your GPA. It's a cumulative GPA, or your first 9 weeks GPA. We don't want to penalize students, so you have the ability to use either of those. Just as students who need a standardized test score, you're able to use your last fall ACP or your beginning of the year MAP score. For students who are coming to us without any of those scores, we have Saturdays set up to be able to provide an assessment for you. If you visit the Magnet website, you're able to see those Saturdays. They are the first 2 Saturdays in February. So if you don't have test scores, you're able to use, sign up for those Saturdays. We're also providing a list of scores that could be used for students who don't have an ACP or who do not have a MAP score. So you'll be able to see the list of available tests that are there as well. The scores that are used for eligibility. The GPA and the standardized test score, that allows you to apply for the program and to do the on-site assessment. Now, there is a rubric of how students are assessed per school. On the rubric, some of the schools will provide points to students' GPA or provide points for the student's standardized test score. So those scores and that GPA is used both for an entry eligibility criteria and for points used to get into the campus.
Great. And before you leave, here's another question for you. How does the optimizer choose what options from our list of schools to offer? I know that we can't offer, you're not going to get an offer to several, just the one, but how is that chosen?
Okay, as I said at the beginning, it's very important how families prioritize or choose their top 5 schools. Let me go back to that because I also see lots of questions in the chat regarding your schools. You may choose up to 5 schools, no matter the combination, with only 2 of them being a magnet school. Currently, families, you sit for 2 magnet assessments. We did not want to change that, so you can apply for up to 5 schools, 2 of them being a magnet school. As you prioritize your choices, the optimizer will take into account the assessment, if there was an assessment for your choices, the outcome of the assessment, the outcome of the interview, the outcome of the 50-50 socioeconomic lottery, then the available seats. So what's going to happen? You do your assessment for your OTI school. I'm sorry, for your magnet school, you do your assessment. We still do the 30-70 rank order. We'll have a bucket of kids. You'll do your interview for a collegiate academy or early college high school. There'll be a bucket of kids. You'll do your assessment or your interview for P-TECH, the interview and information for IB. All of those buckets will be put together in one bucket and optimized, or there's an algorithm that comes out and it optimizes based on how the family chooses their selection and the results of the assessment for the various schools, and then you will receive one optimal acceptance. So let's talk about your first choice. Your first choice, you may not receive a seat in your first choice because maybe, let's say you didn't do well on the assessment, or there were not enough seats available. There were only 2 seats available, and that's what you put your first choice. So then your second choice, you may get in. So it's very, very important how you prioritize your choices. It's very important that you know the available seats as well for your choices. That will help you to make an informed decision.
Great, thank you so much. That I know this is a question we get a lot. So yeah, it's new. So of course there's a lot of questions. So just and I'm sorry to keep you here, but in the application part, you can only do 2 magnets. How do you know that there's a parent that wants to know, are the IB programs considered a magnet, for example? And so it'll count for those. How do you know which schools are what?
Okay, if you visit the school finder, you're able to see a list of schools, or if you go to the Choose Dallas ISD website and hover over the icon, you'll be able to see the schools. IB programs are not magnet schools. IB programs fit into the neighborhood school bucket. So you may apply to the IB schools and to magnet schools.
Great. And I guess this applies, maybe somebody from PTech can answer this as well, although it probably applies to other programs, but can students from outside of the district apply for PTech programs in Dallas ISD, and do they have to wait for longer, or do they get put into the mix? How does that work, specifically for PTech?
For PTech programs, we do accept students from outside of the district. It's just as the applications come in, and so there's not a longer process for students out of district. Because we have so many seats across all of our programs, we haven't run into an issue where we've had to differentiate who gets which seats. So we accept all students.
Great.
And for magnet programs, we do accept out-of-district students, but priority is given to our in-district students first. And if seats are still available after our in-district students are seated, then the seat will go to the out-of-district student.
And does that apply to the special programs too, like the transformation schools? Somebody from that program can maybe clarify.
Yes. For transformation schools, it's the same as with magnets. We do accept out of district students, but the priority goes to in district first.
Perfect. So this is a question about moving from elementary to middle school. We've had a couple questions about this. The elementary school that they're in right now offers 6th grade. But what happens after? I mean, is it better to apply to a middle school that is 6th, 8th, or do they do the 6th grade in their school that they're in now and then apply for 7th grade at one of these programs? What do you guys recommend?
Now remember, our middle schools begin at 6th grade. So the majority of the seats will be available for incoming 6th grade students. So we do accept students in the off-grade level, which would be a 7th grade student. So I would make sure to prioritize and know the seats available when you're making your choices.
Because there might not be as many seats in the 7th
Correct.
grade next year when you want to move to one of those special programs. This is a question for PTech. So this parent's child is currently in 8th grade at DA Halsey, and they would be automatically going to Molina High School. How can they apply to any program? Do they have to apply to the programs at Molina? And also a question that we've gotten a lot. If they are planning to stay at the PTech program at the school that they are assigned to go from their attendance zone, do they still need to apply to the PTech program? And we did, if you can clarify, we did get a few questions about that.
Okay, and those are great questions. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, much better.
Clearly. Okay, so if you are going to your home school and you desire to be in a PTech program, you still have to apply to be in the PTech program. If you just enroll, you will automatically be placed in just the regular comprehensive side of the school. You do not, if you have a PTech program that is in your neighborhood, however, you would like to go to another PTech program that is across town. Say, for instance, your school is Molina However, you like, or your child is choosing pathways at Conrad, you can apply to any of the PTECs or early college programs across the district. And so we provide transportation. If your child is accepted, there are stops along the way where your child can get to the school of choice.
Great. And I don't know who would answer this question, but I remember there was somebody from Woodrow Wilson in here in the mix, probably with the dual language. But Woodrow Wilson is this parent's home school. Do they still need to apply separately to participate in the IB program and the STEM program, or would that be something that they can get into because they're going to that school? How does that work? For it specifically for the IB program, which is in a neighborhood school.
Yeah, so I'm not the AP over IB, but I am at Woodrow, and I can say that they do have to apply for the IB program. I would strongly recommend that you join our Woodrow session because the assistant principal who is over IB will be in that session, so make sure you join. And then we're also going to have a Woodrow specific IB parent meeting coming up, and all that information we will share during our Woodrow session. So just join there and you'll get all the answers then.
Okay, great. So yes, so go to the Zoom link. So what, in dual language programs, are courses taught, because I know that was like you guys did a really good job explaining, but there's still questions. In dual language programs, are courses taught in both languages? They wanted to get a little bit more details in, and if you can like, I don't know, just like, what would it look like? Maybe if you talk a little bit about what the day would look like, that might be easier for parents to kind of get the idea.
Sure, it depends. It depends on the scheduling of the schools. So some of our middle schools are still on the 7 or 8 period schedule, meaning those are 7 or 8 classes the students would take. Of the dual language classes, it would just be 2 dual language classes that they would need to take. Those 2 dual language classes out of the 7 or 8 total would be in Spanish. All other classes would be instructed in English. It's the same thing for high school as well, depending, I think everybody is on a block schedule now. So if they have a total of 8 classes they take in their schedule, only 2 would be in Spanish. Usually it's a LOT class, which is a foreign language class, which is usually Spanish, right? Well, in this case, Spanish. And then the other class would be a content class delivered in Spanish. So it could be a social studies course, a science course, a math course, depending on the feeder, because each feeder has its own system of what classes are offered. So I encourage you to look on their websites, attend their Zoom sessions to see what they have. For our specific example today, J. Long and Woodrow are a feeder that offer dual language for math and science. We have others that are more social studies geared. So I encourage y'all to attend the specific school sessions.
Great. There is these parents are very ambitious, and they want to know if they can apply for the PTEC program and also apply for career institutes. How would that work? And if not, how help them, with some information to see which one would best fit their needs. Why would I choose PTEC over career institutes? If somebody from either of that program can jump in.
I think they're great programs. And so I don't want to say why one is better for someone's child than the other. If you want to go the route for your child where there's a specific pathway of interest that leads to an associate's degree, then PTEC would be your choice. For career institutes, I won't speak for them, but they have some really great programs, and I'm sure there's a rep on here that can talk about the wonderful certifications, the course offerings, etc. And so I would encourage parents to really do their research, look at both websites, look at the offerings, call for information. And we're available if you have additional questions.
And I would also support what Cheryl just communicated to you, that they're both excellent programs. I think the difference is the PTEC programs are focused more on the student being able to achieve an associate's degree, whereas the Career Institutes are looking at certifications each year and may or may not involve any dual credit programs. So they're a little bit different focus, but we are both excellent programs and we'd be happy to share more information in our sessions.
So it really does have to do kind of what you're planning to do after you graduate from high school. So you have to kind of, so we recommend that parents, and this is why we're having these webinars. So we do recommend that, you know, after getting all this information, maybe you sit down with your students, with your children, and talk to them about what their plans are for the future. What do they want to do in after they graduate from high school? Is it the P-TECH program? It's like really great because you could end up graduating with a high school diploma and 60 credit hours for college. And that covers, for most programs, that can cover the first 2 years of college. And let me just stress this again, for free. So it is a fabulous option. But if you also, if you also want to start work right away after you graduate from high school, and then maybe work while you go to college, then Career Institutes, it's a really great option because they have fantastic programs that lead to certifications, and those certifications lead to employment. And I don't know if, maybe you can talk about how because we know P-TECH works with industry partners, and we have programs that are going to fill the jobs of the future, the jobs that are going to be available. But does Career Institute also work on that with that model? Are we preparing them for things that they'll be able to get employed in after?
Yes, absolutely. We have industry partners. We have 33 that have signed letters of intent with us to work with us. And then, of course, our CTE department is also working with about 200 industry partners that we also work with too. But ours are focused pretty much on the different pathways that we showed you. And we are following a model where we're learning how to use industrial equipment and obtain the certifications to be able to use those pieces of equipment, and then get mentoring, internships, apprenticeships before they leave high school so they can go right into the workforce or pursue more post-secondary education and work while they do so.
Excellent. I do have a question about the socioeconomic, the 50-50 socioeconomic lottery. Can you guys, somebody from Transformation Schools, maybe explain how that works when you're choosing students, or someone else if that's not the right person to answer that question?
Sure. So we do have 50-50 lotteries for some of our campuses. And as we talked a little bit about before, when you apply, that is determined, and that will determine what lottery you are entered into. So if you choose not to disclose any of your income level or family number of family members in your household, then you're automatically entered into the non-economically disadvantaged lottery. And then if you choose to disclose, we base this on the number of family and what your household income is to determine if you are economically disadvantaged. And so at those designated 50-50 schools, there's 2 separate lotteries run based on your economic status.
Great. And Cheryl, there were some questions about how do they know which programs exactly are offered in the P-TECH programs? And if they apply for one P-TECH and then don't like it, can they apply for another one like the next year? How does that work?
So we do have upwards of 30 plus different pathways. Some of the pathways repeat across the P-TECH programs across Dallas. And so you would actually have to look at each individual school to see the pathway offerings. That's the first thing. The second part of your question dealt with if they could enroll in one P-TECH, then if they didn't like that P-TECH, then apply for another one the next year. We take students in 9th grade because there is a whole process for onboarding students, preparing them for the college courses. And because there are different pathways, students might have different course options depending on the pathway. So usually at the beginning of 9th grade is when we take the bulk of our students. Sometimes people also apply like mid-year, but after the first year, you're pretty locked into a specific P-TECH pathway. So it's not really an option after the first year to switch over to a totally different P-TECH pathway, because by that time, students are taking coursework.
So it's really worthwhile to look at all the options very closely to see how they match with your interests. And to parents, again, have a conversation with your students, see what their interests are and what they would like to do. And before you make these choices in your application, because as Cheryl said, you're kind of locked into that choice in the 9th grade. So this is a great opportunity to have that conversation with your children about what they want to do, what their interests are, and which programs would best fit for them. And Cheryl, before you go, I have another question for you. Can you explain the difference between the Collegiate Academy program at Skyline versus the P-TECH program? What are the differences between the two?
That's a great question. So first, for the P-TECHs and early college programs, they can't call themselves P-TECH or early college until they're designated by the state. So we have specific state requirements that speak to the level of support we have to provide students. So that's the first thing. Those campuses that are called collegiate academies, they're in the process of a planning year and application to the state to either be a P-TECH program or an early college. So at Skyline Collegiate, that is going to, they are applying for designation as an early college, which means they have general pathways for associate degree attainment. And so they're not necessarily a P-TECH, they are considered an early college program, which still has all of the different components with the exception of the industry partnership.
Great. And a question that has come up that no one has answered, but especially if you're applying for a P-TECH program that's kind of across town from where you live, or a transformation school or a magnet, do these programs offer transportation? How does the transportation work? And is this something that you that is part of the application? How do you let folks know that you need transportation? And really anyone can answer this one.
Transformation schools do provide transportation as long as you're within district boundaries.
Okay, and how about Cheryl for P-TECH? Is that transportation also an option?
Yes, exactly the same.
Great.
If you're out of district, transportation is not provided, but you can still apply. But in district, transportation is provided and the routes are posted on the transportation website.
Okay, excellent. And Magnet also offers transportation.
Yes, and the routes are provided, as Cheryl said, on the website for each of the programs, for the OTI schools, the IB school, for the OTI schools, the collegiate academies, and the magnet schools. Transportation is not provided if you are attending a neighborhood school that is not your neighborhood school. If you are applying for a student transfer, transportation will not be provided.
Excellent. So tell me about the student transfer, Keisha, since you're there. If I want to go to a neighborhood school and we will have, again, on December 12th, the whole array of programs at neighborhood schools. But if you want to attend a neighborhood school, it's not necessarily that you're applying, but you are applying for a transfer. And unlike other years, we're doing that at this time. Tell us a little bit about that process again.
Okay. What we wanted to do, as I said, do a little change management. Families were applying to all of the various programs in different portals. So what we've done is just consolidated all of the applications or ways to get into Dallas ISD schools into one. So if you are used to applying for a student transfer through the transfer portal, this is where you would apply now. You would come into the portal and you would apply for a neighborhood school. You will receive your notice March 1st when everyone else receives them. The student transfer process is now included in the 5 choices that families have to make. So if you know there's a school you're interested in that is not your neighborhood school, come on into the portal and apply now.
Awesome. And before you go, there was another question. When you're applying, this parent wants to know, when we apply, do we need to have our full list of choices submitted at the same time, or when we submit our first couple of choices and then go back later before the deadline to add the rest and rank them?
Yes. At any time, you're able to go back in and re-rank your choices. If you only applied to one school and you want to add additional schools, you can do that up until January
31st. I think we lost your transmission there, Keisha, for a second. But yes, you have until January 31st to apply for to go back and change your application. Oh, you're back. To change your application January 31st. But if you started it and you didn't submit it, please be sure you go back and finish by the 31st. Excellent.
Absolutely. Sorry, unstable internet.
I know it's the bane of our existence for the past few months. We're almost out of time, and those were kind of all the questions that we have time for right now. We have been also answering questions in the Q&A, so you do have those, and we will, if it's a very specific question, please email it to choosedallasisd@dallasisd.org or call 972-925-5560. We have those options available to you. Or and we'll also, we're developing an FAQ. There's an FAQ there already, but we're developing more as these questions come in. So if we didn't get to answer your question, we will try and put it on the FAQ as we continue to update it. Again, for those of you that I misled earlier, the elementary school program will be on December 5th. So please check that out. You can register for that right now. It's on, again, December 5th. We will have a recording of this webinar on the website in the next few days. So if you want to go back and explore some of the answers that were given, we'll have that available. And if you're attending the school open houses, you can see there on the screen where you can go and get the Zoom links for the open houses. All of them start at 11:30, and they should have, so you can see there now, they're 11:30, and we're doing, we're restarting them, so to speak, every 30 minutes, so that if you come, you know that like if you don't go in at 11:30, it'll be repeated at noon. So that way you can visit more than one school. You can visit as many schools as you would like, and they can answer your questions that are specific to that school. Again, you can find that there's in the question and answer, we provided the link, but it's also at www.dallasisd.org/choosedallasisd. And it's a PDF, so you can click on it, download it, and then just click on any of the links that that you want for the schools that you want to visit. They're getting, so they're getting ready to begin. So please, I encourage you to visit them, ask your questions. We also encourage you to register for one of the other webinars we will have. Again, December 5th for elementary, December 12th for neighborhood schools. And we'll have others as the date to submit approaches. We will have some of these that are more general in January to answer your questions. If we need to add more, we will, but there's the next webinar is coming up this Wednesday, and it's in the evening. It's from 6 to 7 p.m. We'll also have a phone bank that evening that's from 6 to 8 p.m. So please feel free to join that. If you have any other questions, we'll have experts answering them there too. And with that, I want to thank you again for joining us today for this webinar. You've been great. We're glad we have your interest and your questions, and we hope to see your children at one of our specialty schools or programs this coming year. Thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend.